Hello, friends. It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Today, we're talking about shame and how shame cuts off your cash flow. So I just watched a movie, fantastic movie. We're even going to make this homework for our 6-week Groundswell Method intensive program. The show is called Late Night with Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson in Late Night. So it's interesting that in this movie, what I noticed was that it's about this person who's hosting a late night show. What's up, Molly? Hello. And in that late night show, she has been running the show for, 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, long time. And she just keeps doing the same thing over and over. Well, similarly in life and in marketing, we tend to say the same things over and over again, but the same things we say never actually get to the truth under the surface. Like, in order for this woman in Late Night to reinvent herself, she had to start speaking to some truths, some hard truths. And I won't spoil the movie for you, but this is the same thing for us in marketing and in life, which is, in order for you to really make an impact and to earn attention and for people to trust you, you have to share some deeper truths than most of us are comfortable or used to sharing. But why don't we do that? Well, we don't do that because we still have shame attached to the truths. We still have shame attached. We're still living in the story of the events of our life, right? So you have lived your life and things have happened to you in your life. And the story of those things are where the shame comes from. And when you live in the shame and you can't separate yourself from the shame, that you still see the shame as like you're wrong, you're broken, you're not whole and complete, that's where shame comes from. Now, if you could rise above that for a second and see that inside of our events of life, life is teaching us things. Life always teaches us things. And there is no shame in that. There is only learning. There is no shame. Shame is a thing you make up because you feel bad, you feel wrong, right? And shame comes from cultural conditions, cultural agreements, expectations, other things that people told you when you were younger. But watch the snowball of this. Shame has you feel, right? Shame has you feel like, has you not see the lesson that life has given you. And when you don't see the lesson, you don't feel like you're winning in life. If you could see the lesson of it, you'd be like, oh, that's a lesson. Cool, I won't do that next time. Or I'll do that again, and this is why I'm doing it. You learned the lesson. But in shame, you don't learn the lesson. And when you don't learn the lesson, you don't feel like you're winning. You feel like you're bound to repeat the same old stories over and over again. But right? So when you don't feel like you're winning, then you're less likely to share. When you don't feel like you're winning at the game of life, you don't share. And when you don't share, you cut off cash flow. You cut off the cash flow. Do you see how all of that starts with shame, though? So if you go all the way back, shame is that thing that keeps you from sharing. So anytime you feel like you don't want to share, guess where you get to look? You get to look at shame. And the cool part about this snowball is that you can actually unravel this. If you ever feel stuck and like you don't want to share, you can trace it back to shame, and you can start to then look at what is it that I'm embarrassed by? What do I feel bad about? And then take the cultural agreements or take the shame off of it and look at the lesson in it. What was the lesson in it for you? Do you know that the rest of us are having the same shame? And when you tell us the lesson in the shame, we are now set free to not experience the shame, right? And when you share the lesson, now you actually feel like it doesn't have a grasp on you or a grip on you, right? You actually have risen above it, which has you feel like now you're winning at the game of life. Rather than being a prisoner of your shame, you're now winning at the game of life. Why? Because you saw the lesson. We can't see the lesson in shame. Now, once you see the lesson and you feel like you're winning, now you actually feel like you want to share with the world. Now you feel like sharing because you got the victory. You see the redemption in the shame, you see the redemption in the lesson where you were previously stuck by shame. And so now, finally, as you begin to share and release your voice to the world, sharing what life has taught you. Now you get to step into cash flow. Cash flow only happens when you start to express yourself with the world. Otherwise, the world can't see you. If you're too stuck in your shame, the world, not only can the world not see you, but even if the world did see you, if you're stuck in shame, most of the time the world doesn't want to work with you when you're stuck in your shame. So, let me leave you with this. I want you to begin to see the power in shining light on your shame, right? Shine light in the places where you have felt your darkness, yes? And start to find the lessons in that. What could you teach us from those moments? When you've been stuck, what did you learn? What did life teach you? And what could you teach us that would set us free? And in that, you'll start to feel like you're winning. And in winning, you'll share more. Okay, this is the path of consistency in marketing. Most people aren't consistent in marketing because they try to look perfect for some video or some series of things. And when it doesn't come off perfect, they feel that shame creeps right back in. They're like, see, I didn't do it right. See, I sounded stupid. See, I looked stupid. God, I didn't even know what I wouldn't even listen to me if I were watching this video. And do you see that? All of that is the voice of shame. But when you can look and see like, oh, do you see like I made a video and it wasn't perfect and yet I still got my truth out. Now I'm winning. Now I'm winning. All of this, gang, is just about my heart for you to share. You have something to share and most of you aren't sharing. And when you share, it sets us free. It was so evident in that movie that I started with, right? Late Night, the movie Late Night with Emma Thompson. It was so evident that when she shared, it set other people free. And people loved her for it. People will love you for it. They love you when you share transparently, vulnerably, authentically. Okay? All right, if you want to learn how to share, I have a process that actually helps you share, right, from a place of power and the lessons that you learn in life. And I teach that in my free course called Marketing for the Rest of Us. The course, you can get it at groundswellmethod.com. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me here. And until tomorrow, see ya.